numbers-wise now that you've had a chance for a few days and get to know them over the last month or so?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, each coach has their own segment that we deal with, and Coach Frost and the recruiting guys kind of set numbers and parameters of how many guys we think we need to go in and get. That's a weekly adjustment deal. As we continue to grow and go with these guys and seeing guys, as far as develop on the practice field, we'll make adjustments what we need to do as far as schematic and what we need to do as far as numbers, as far as positions and whatnot. As far as tight ends right now, I like who we have. I like who we're bringing in. Hopefully those guys stick. We may not have to sign one next year, or we may will. That's a day-to-day deal with us.
All right, appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
No problem.
How did it go first day of pads, kind of getting out there with these guys?
Yeah, it was fine today. Like I said earlier, the defense, I thought the defense played with just a little bit higher intensity than the offense, and that's well to come. I mean, every place I've been early on, and when we put pads on, the defense has kind of played a little bit tougher and a little bit more passion than the offense did. So we're going to put the tape on these guys later on, show them, and we'll be better on Saturday.
When you compare your first 3 days at UCF, kind of breaking things in with Frost to these first three, I mean, can you kind of talk about the differences?
I can smile on this one here because we're night and day ahead of here at Nebraska where we were at UCF. We as coaches kind of, when we get in the locker room, we're getting in meetings, we all revert back to our first couple days at UCF when we started trying to install stuff that, we were all scratching our head like, what do we got ourselves into? But these guys are a lot closer as far as where we need to be, so we're, as a coaching staff, we're not discouraged at all. These guys are a lot more advanced than we were at UCF.
Yeah, the credibility you established at UCF those last 2 years, how much does it make this transition easier? Number one, Frost being the hometown guy, but just going 13-0 on top of that, coming in here now. I mean, if that doesn't get your attention, I don't know what would.
Yeah, the expectations are high, obviously. The fan base and everybody around here expects us to do well. And the team, you can see it now. It's infectious now. Those guys really expect us to do well. Those guys are very attentive as far as us as coaches trying to tell those guys what to do, and they're trying to do everything they can to really make these things work offensively, defensively, special teams.
What about quarterbacks compared to your UCF move to here? I mean, do you feel like you've got a better hand to work with the depth that you have at that position in Nebraska to kind of look at here this spring?
Yeah, we got to UCF. We only had maybe two guys there. We had one guy that won a championship, and then we had a young freshman, Mackenzie Milton. And, very similar situation here. We've probably got a little bit more depth here. And Coach Mario does a tremendous job with those guys. And you can see the progression on those guys really starting to pick things up. And, at the quarterback position, the biggest thing in this offense here, you got to be able to run and make quick decisions. And from day 3 compared to day 3 down at UCF, we're obviously a lot further along at that quarterback position. I don't get a chance to pay much attention on the field, but when I get in the meeting room and watch film, I really kind of get a chance to study those guys more. But just from the initial looking at it, I think we're a lot further along than we were down at UCF.